Hey, how you doing? It's Tom Breeze here, and today I've brought you down to my local park because I've been reflecting on something that a mentor once told me. I thought it'd be good to share this knowledge with you because obviously I've learned so much from my mentors and have spent a lot of money with mentors as well, because it makes sense to me to work out what other people have done, how they've got to where they've been, and learn from them, if that makes sense. And one of my mentors, in our first session we ever had, he said to me, Tom, what is your idea of hell on earth? And I didn't have a clue at the time. And I was like, I don't know what hell on earth really means. And he said to me, okay, I'm going to leave it with you for 2 weeks. Now don't worry, I'm not going to leave it with you for 2 weeks. He said to me 2 weeks later, he said, Tom, hell on earth is meeting the person that you could have been. Meeting the person that you could have been. And this kind of, as soon as I heard this, I felt almost like a shift. I felt like, oh, I've now got to really up my game a little bit. And it's interesting because if you change the way that you're thinking, it can have a dramatic impact on the way that you're feeling, and therefore the way that you behave or the way that you perform. And this was further embedded by another one of my mentors, who I recently interviewed actually. And for all the members, if you remember, you can actually go into the member site and see the interview with David Shepherd. It's about an hour long. I've really got some absolute gems from him. But he was talking about a story. He went down to Las Vegas and he was speaking about this shoe shiner. And he sat down on the wooden bench and put his feet up, obviously, and started a conversation with the shoe shiner. And he said it's like going into a taxi, isn't it? You ask those first two questions all the time of how's your day been and what time did you clock off? And he said, yeah, so he said those two statements to him. He said, how's your day been? Yeah, fine. And he goes, and what time do you clock off? And he goes, 400. And he says, oh, well, sorry, I think we may have misunderstood each other. No, what time do you finish today? And he goes, 400. He said, okay. And then he elaborated a little further. He said, look, when I make $400, that's the end of my day. And what a great mindset, just to be so focused on what you want to achieve. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's making sure that you're focused on what you do want, because then you're more likely to achieve it, whether the opportunities spring up and you're much more likely to see them, or whether the fact that you're so focused on your end goal that you end up getting there very, very quickly as well. And it just really interested me, and I thought it was a great story. I mean, obviously the shoe shiner was spending a lot of money just to be there and have the privilege of sitting in that particular hotel at the time. Sorry, I'm just mudding a few puddles as we go along. It's a very cold day out here, so it might be a bit shorter this video than I expected. But it's kind of, if you can focus on what you do want as opposed to what you don't want, this is kind of how we start developing the mindset. Because a lot of people come to see me because they feel very anxious and fearful of public speaking. And it's all about making sure the mindset is right from the beginning, because you need to make sure that every time that you present, deep down, you can be yourself. And this is so important for everything you do, but obviously with public speaking, because the limelight's on you, because you have a focus on you, you need to make sure that your mind is completely at one and know exactly what you do want. So you've got to be focusing on the end goal, what you really do want to happen. Because too many people come to me and say to me, Tom, I just don't want this fear any longer. I just want to get rid of this fear. And that's the first thing we need to work on, because it's not all about getting rid of something. Because if you focus on what you don't want, you end up getting it. So if I say to you now, do not think about a blue tree. Don't think about it. The only thing you've done is think about a blue tree. Isn't that true? Exactly. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be fearful of public speaking, the fact that you're saying the words fearful of public speaking means it's going to stick around. And you've probably experienced this many times before. It's rather like if you've been in a situation where you've tried to lose weight, for example, and you might say to yourself, right, I don't want to be overweight any longer. Then you end up back in that place too often. Because what happens is the mind saying, well, as soon as I get to the place where I feel a little bit more comfortable, all my motivation will drop away. And you end up going back to the old habits. Instead of going down to the gym, you stop that. Instead of eating healthily, you go back to the old eating habits. And lo and behold, the weight starts coming back on again. And that's why people yo-yo diet, because they're looking for a quick solution. It doesn't always work like that with public speaking. You need to make sure that the foundation to your mindset is so sturdy that whenever you stand up and present, you can be yourself. And it doesn't take that much. You just need to make sure that you're focused on what you do want, because then you're going to get it. And this is something that a lot of trainers and a lot of public speaking courses that I've been on, many people get this wrong. They don't focus on the mindset, they don't focus on the beliefs as a speaker. And this is probably the most important thing to have, because you probably understand that you can learn all the different specific skills of a speaker, how to sell, how to persuade, how to communicate effectively. But none of it's going to really matter if you're not confident being yourself in front of people. So this is something we need to focus on. I think that the biggest key thing you can take from this is the fact that you need to focus on what you really do want. And I'm going to show you how you can start using that information in the next video. So I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Thanks very much.